You know, every Saturday, I want to remind you, dearest, every Saturday our program schedule is from 7 to 8, but because of the prayer, we're going to be on after the prayer because of the time change. And thank you, Mr. Ali. Please, thank you, dear. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Thanks. I thank you for paying attention to the program, and if you are a first-timer, please do tell your friends to watch it. Encourage everybody to watch the program, because this program is for you. It's your programs to share your experiences, your knowledge, your wisdom, to help each other to build a better community, to gain more understanding about self, about behavior, about relationship in the family, within self and significant others. Any issue that is important, we like to talk about what matters in life. And these days we're talking about children, because child matters, child's welfare matters, and family welfare matters. So let's look at a little analysis about this situation of this little girl. This little girl is, as I promised, we're going to define what is neglect. Neglect means when we put our children, or in general, neglect means when we are facing deprivation, emotional deprivation, psychological deprivation, and maybe even physical deprivation in some aspects. And as parents, if we don't provide, if we fail to provide adequate support, psychological, emotional, and physical. When I say physical and biological, of course, when I say physical, in order to provide a secure home, a secure shelter, clothes, food, all the necessities, all the primary necessities for children, healthy environment, medical care, health care, education, all these things. When we fail to do that, and emotional care, and love, support, this is neglect. The degree of neglect in this story, you've seen that was extreme. As we see that there are injuries in the children's body, so one can guess, we don't want to accuse anything, but one can guess there is an abuse, maybe a physical abuse. We see extreme emotional deprivation. We see discrimination. We see the father is treating her like an outcast, which discrimination itself is a serious injury, psychological injury. Psychological and emotional injury is the worst type of injury, because physical injury, as you see, is visible and it might go away and the scar might stay, but the emotional injury and psychological injury sometimes is permanent, and it does affect the developmental process. It does affect our health, the way we think, the way we believe in ourselves, the way we behave and act in different life circumstances. So neglect is one of the worst type of abuse, and when we do neglect our children, they lose the sense of self, they lose the sense of hope, the sense of being, self-confidence. When I talk about self-confidence, with this situation is the higher level of developmental process. With this situation right now, we're dealing with the basics of life that is missing in this child's environment, and she's burdenized with multiple losses. We have another line on the air. Please, you're on the air. Anybody on the air? Hello? Yes?
Hello.
Yes, welcome.
Yes.
Hello, welcome. Sarah?
Actually, regarding neglect, I just want
Can you talk louder, please, because I have a hard time to hear your voice.
Actually, regarding neglect,
Thank you.
I have the story that I wanted to talk about and see what you would comment on.
Mm-hmm. Yes, please, go on. Hello? Hello? Yes, we got disconnected. All right. And what I heard was that she wanted me to comment on the story of neglect. I was expecting her to tell me her story of neglect. I hope that she can call back so we can hear her story, so I can give my comments. But I was referring to this child's story. This child is going through multiple losses, a loss of secure home. Home is a place that we do need, when a child comes in this world, needs a secure, safe environment to be able to trust herself and trust the significant others, the primary objects in her life, which is a father and a mother, sibling, sister and brother. It's missing in there. The father is acting like a monster towards her. The mother is indecisive, dependent, fearful, out of control. So it's not a solid protection for her. Sister and brothers are treating her different. The brother is telling mother that he's not providing for her anything. For others, yes, but not her. So the worst type of feeling. Although children, they might not be able to express their feeling and thoughts. And as we saw in here, a child expresses her anger by putting fire in the house. A psychological damage, emotional damage, injury in a way that manifests itself by this kind of emotional responses and behavioral responses, which stems from parental treatment, in a way, mistreatment and abuse. Many children in her age, statistics shows that they do demonstrate their anger by extreme behaviors, like, for example, putting fire in the house or having some destructive behavior. They're telling me that Sarah is on the air again. Sarah, you're on the air? Hello? Hello?
Yes, Dr. Parisa.
Yes, we got cut off before. Yes, sorry. Yeah, go on, please. Tell me about your story.
Actually, I just wanted to ask you, there is this story that I know of that happened to a relative of mine, and what you would say to it. I mean, there was a little girl that was around 4 years old, and in some kind of house accident, she got acid thrown on her face and part of her body.
By who?
It wasn't actually thrown, it was an accident. She was playing in the room where they keep all of the cleaning equipment and so on. And somehow it happened, I guess, misplaced item or so on. And the girl was severely, I mean, physically damaged in some way. And her father, after that incident, didn't really give her any kind of attention. I mean, she's 14 years old now, it's been 10 years. But you can see, like, the damage it has done to her emotionally, because her father still neglects her in all the possible ways. I mean, he doesn't even look at her, doesn't buy her clothes and that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So what I want to know, what are there, like, any kinds of ways to help such people, a person like her? What should she do?
How do you know her?
She's a relative of mine.
Oh, she's a relative. And she's 14 right now, right?
Yes.
She's going to school?
Yes, she goes to night school.
She goes where?
Night school.
Night school. How is she doing socially?
No, she doesn't have many friends. She stays at home most of the time. The reason why she's in night school is because until now she's not able to face the people. She feels feels that they stare at her, although the family got used to her that way.
Did you say that the acid was thrown on her face?
Yeah, part of her face and part of her body.
So what I hear is the 14 years old who is going to night school, and mostly she's isolated. She doesn't have she has a poor social life in a way that you're describing. And do you have a good relationship with her?
Well, actually, we try. I mean, me and the people that are a little older than her, but still in her same generation. We tried very much to be close to her, but she's
avoidant.
Yeah, she avoids us, and then when we do talk to her, she feels that we're making fun of her, even if we're just being nice.
Does she have sisters and brothers?
Yes, she does have sisters and brothers, but also they neglect her in some way because they see how their father treats her differently than them. Because he is a caring father, but for some reason, with her, it was just different.
Isn't that ironic? It's just more or less a similar story that what we just presented, that the father, although was not very good and providing father for the others, but it seemed that he was spending some time with the others, but not this little girl.